Please, let's join me for an official photo.
Thank you. There's a Kenyan minister here.
Yeah, Monica was here at that time. I remember the great building next to the road.
The historical.
This ministry state, or the staff state, so
That's nice.
we are here now. Go through the points on the agenda which are
It
in.
was high time, but my daughter beat me to it.
This job, so it's very rare that
2027-es évekre vonatkozó szándéknyilatkozatot.
akaró háborúpárti európai politikusokból, akik folyamatosan. Van egy másik biztonsági kihívás is, amivel egyszerre szembesülnek európaiak és afrikaiak, ez pedig minden millióval fog növekedni. Ez azt jelenti, hogy a világ. Ezért közösen kell elérnünk azt, hogy az afrikai emberek tehetségükkel hozzá tudjanak járulni saját hazájukhoz.
We have also just signed 2 memoranda of understanding, one in the field of education and the other in the field of agriculture. These are very important to both of us. Hungary is an important partner to Kenya in the education sector, and I take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to appreciate the government of Hungary's support for the 200 scholarships offered to Kenyan students annually by and through the Stipendium Hungaricum program. We really appreciate, and last night I had an opportunity to meet some of the students who are studying here. On agriculture, Mr. Minister, we will continue to work very, very closely together, and we have just also had a conversation on the 2 projects that you are undertaking in the field of agriculture that will have a serious and impactful impact on the rural people of Kenya. Allow me to take this opportunity to appreciate Your Excellency, Peter Seato, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade of Hungary, for inviting me to undertake this official visit. This is a reciprocal visit, given that Minister Seato visited Kenya early last year, where we had an opportunity to discuss issues of mutual interest between our 2 countries. This being my first visit to Hungary as a foreign minister, it has been an honor and privilege to be here, and I have enjoyed the warm hospitality of the people of Hungary. I have resolved to revitalize our relations in the energy sector in our efforts of stepping up to strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity by prioritizing green growth while ensuring energy supply and sustainability. We have therefore resolved to implement the MoU on cooperation in the field of training and education of atomic industry on the peaceful uses of nuclear energy that we signed during a visit to Nairobi early last year. We have agreed to exchange capacity on the use of nuclear energy as an alternative source of clean, renewable energy. You are very strong in this field, and we can learn a lot from what you have achieved. I just want to point out that terrorism remains a threat, not just to Kenya, but globally. In Kenya, we have suffered directly from terrorism, not just once, but on quite a number of occasions. And terrorism thrives in a state of lawlessness, when there's disorder, when there's conflict. That is when terrorism thrives. So in the Horn of Africa right now, there are some conflicts around DRC, conflicts around Sudan, conflicts that are also emerging in South Sudan, still some sections of Somalia and so forth. So all these, and of course the challenge in the Middle East, all these contribute to the higher risks that terrorism could bring, not just there, but across the board. So by collaborating with friends and partners like Hungary, we can develop through collaboration ways of ensuring that we minimize terrorist threats across the country. But more important is to end conflict around the world. Just the Kenya remains committed to enhancing the diplomatic relations with Hungary, and it is for this reason that Kenya is committed to establish a resident diplomatic mission in Budapest in the near future.
Hungary is supporting Kenya in this regard. We have carried out programs in an amount of 650 million forints in the field of education, agriculture, to develop and provide opportunity to develop social, educational, agricultural programs. People in Europe and also in Africa, they are all interested in peace. We are interested in supporting the peace efforts of President Trump. Hopefully in the upcoming days in Saudi Arabia, the negotiations are going to result with good success, and we can get back to reasonable thinking in the arena of politics in Europe and in the world. There is also another threat related to security both in Europe and in Africa, and this is the threat of terror. Last year, the radical organizations committed horrible crimes in Africa, resulting in almost 20,000 fatalities. We need to increase efforts combating terrorism. Also, we know that terrorism is also one of the triggering factors of migration. The population in Africa by 2050 is going to increase by 20 million, which means that the 27% of the population of the world is going to live in Africa. If we cannot restrict terrorism, then I'm sure that we are going to face a huge wave of migration in the upcoming years.